Hello, Frugal Force. Once again, this is Captain Frugal reporting for duty, and today I just want to do another short video on professionalism on social media from writers. Heck, it extends to anybody that's considered a professional. Now, I want to define this. First of all, I think a professional should have a personal feed if they want to be on social media. It should not be linked to their professional feed. So if, for example, you work for a company and you mention that, what you do in that, that's your work feed. That is your work social media. It's not separate. And so therefore it reflects the company, and how you respond is key. So I strongly urge professionals, if they feel they need to get into political agendas and other social things, just maybe be a little air of caution, just be a little bit more sensible. So here is the tweet I want to mention. It's by Dan Slott, which I've been trying to be a little extra nice to lately, because I do think he's getting a lot of pounding recently with what's going on. Now, granted, he probably deserves a lot of it. Okay? But just keep that in mind. It says, "Dear Hulk Smash," and I'm not going to repeat the rest of it, which, first of all, I don't like that name, but, it is what it is. "I'm sorry if I lost you as a comic book reader, Hulk Smash, whatever. When I wake up tomorrow, my first thought will surely be," and then in quotes, "if only Hulk Smash, liked me more. My life would be better," end quote. "All my best to you, Hulk Smash," once again, the name, "all my best." Now, that might sound somewhat decent at first, but then you have to realize what the response that was to, and the person making it and how they respond to others. So the person that made them that is Jack Messenger. It says, "Add Dan Slott." Now, first of all, he did add Dan Slott to this, so he should expect a response. He said, "It's because of people like you that I switched to Image. Thanks. Their writers are producing a much higher quality of work than you. And I wouldn't have given up on Marvel if it weren't for people like you." Now, notice that. Remember, this is Dan Slott, the guy who says, "Oh, I'm okay with criticism unless it's, not attacking things." Okay, now, all he pretty much said is people like him are not providing the quality. He said their Image are producing a much higher quality of work than you. And I wouldn't have given up on Marvel if it weren't for people like you. Think about that. Wouldn't have given up. This sounds like a person that's had a long history with Marvel and wants it to be good, but it's just had enough. And Dan Slott's response was to tell them, if only, if I woke up tomorrow, my first thought would surely be, if only Hulk Smash, blah, 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 liked me more, my life would be better. All my best to you, all my best. Which is, with Dan Slott, a sarcastic response. That is common from people like him. So, in other words, instead of saying, "I'm sorry you didn't like it, I'm going to try harder and act like a professional," he decides to act like a jerk. Okay, insulting, here's the key point. It's an interesting time right now we're insulting the writers, and things think you can't insult the writer, but they can be surely fine and happy to insult the reader. This is not how business works. You have to have thicker skin. There will always be clients that don't agree with you, and the ones that don't agree with you tend to be more vocal than the ones that do. You have to get over that. Even the biggest selling musical artists have more people that dislike them than like them. So they have to get that thick skin and realize that everyone is a potential customer, and Marvel needs every potential customer they can get right now. Let's be honest. They can't be sparing it with this kind of stuff. This is a problem. I really wish Dan Slott would maybe just take a vacation from social media for a while. 2 weeks. I bet you the quality of his work would go up. He has great potential to do good work. I've seen it. But it seems like he spends more time on social media and things on his social causes that have nothing to do with his work. Once again, separate that from your work, Twitter and things. Please, it will be in your benefit. Now, with that said, too, how can writers and things continue to act like this and not understand why people are having a hard time separating the artist from the work? I'm a big fan of trying to separate the art from the work, but it's getting increasingly hard when they behave like this. How can you do that? So my question to you is, can you separate the artist from the work? Are you able to buy books even though you know darn right that the artist thinks very little of you and constantly berates you and says mean things about you on social media? Heck, pay extra attention. They're even doing it in the comic books. The books and stuff have cheap shots against people with certain political views and things like that. Heck, I would not bet it would be very long until you start seeing things, for example, with cheap shots against Richard C. Meyer, Captain Cummings, Douglas Ernst, Captain Frugal, myself here, in those books, some kind of little underlying cheap shot, because that's the way they are. Then they'll turn around, when they do that, they'll say, oh, we were just making a joke, like ask me about my feminist agenda, Peter Parker wearing that t-shirt from his girlfriend. There's a little more to it than they realize. So let me ask you, can you separate yourself from the artist? Can you make that differentiation, or does it impact your purchasing behavior? Will you be able to tolerate this, and for how long? Alright guys, I just wanted to share that. I wanted to share my views on this. If you enjoyed this, please be sure to hit like and subscribe and hit that notifications bell. It really would help me out. And if you truly want to help me, go over to my VIDME channel. That's the one I have monetized because I don't like what YouTube does to content creators, so I monetize on VIDME. That's where you can really help me. And once again, I'm just a Captain Frugal at VIDME, and you can go to thehenchmanslounge.com. Well, thank you again, and until next time, keep it frugal.